Hey guys, Andy Shama here for FloMarching, and today we have Andy Grindle, Pioneer's brand new Brass Caption Head, on Skype to discuss what drum corps fans and Pioneer fans can look forward to in 2018. Welcome, Andy.
Thanks, Andy. Nice to talk with you.
So first off, could you just give everybody a little bit of your background experience and how you got into this position?
Sure. So I started my drum corps career with the 2011 Madison Scouts. I was very, very fortunate to study under people like Donnie Van Doren, Mark Whitlock, Robert W. Smith, and extremely fortunate to learn how they work with members, how they develop and build organizations. So that was really, really important. After my marching experience, I was actually an age out, so had 1 year of drum corps experience, and I was really, really hungry to go out and become a teacher. And I was currently a music education student, so I was looking for more opportunities to get involved in the classroom and out of the classroom, learning how to be a better teacher. So I was fortunate enough to be recommended to the troopers to become a brass intern in 2012. And that was a very valuable experience. That was a transitionary year for that organization, so it was very, very important to see not only how things worked when it was great, but how to bounce back and overcome adversity. So after 2012, we found out that Mr. Van Doren and the team were actually going to be coming to the troopers, and I was fortunate enough to be asked back. So it was it was like a family reunion. I'd gotten to learn under them as a member, and then I got to learn how to work with them and learn the process behind everything that I had experienced. I was recruited in a way that made me feel valued, and it was a very inclusive experience at Madison. Thankful to the administration and the whole team for making that happen. So that was really important to kind of learn what was the behind the scenes aspects of what made me feel that, what made me feel included, what made me feel valued. And I spent the next 4 years as the mellophone tech under that team. It was a very, very great experience. We saw tremendous growth in our membership. We hit our 80-member horn line within the first year, which was a really, really big step for us. The quality of people that we were able to bring to the troopers, just fantastic. They became great players, great marchers, but we really focused on, what can they do outside of the activity. A lot of them now are either teaching with other drum corps or currently on the Pioneer Brass staff. That was another big thing. As a teacher, I wanted to do for other students what was done to me, which was provide an opportunity for kids to feel successful and take my job someday. And that's kind of how we try to do everything. We try to not only give them the information, but give them the information so that they can pass it on to someone else and make a difference.
Yeah. And you mentioned some of those values you picked up on your way, just like the whole inclusion idea and making sure everybody can be involved. You're obviously carrying that over into Pioneer, right? That seems to be,
Yeah.
And I know you have some goals that you've set for the Pioneer Horn Line. Do you mind walking me through some of those?
Sure. So I was fortunate enough to spend last year with the Guardians organization as the director of student experience, and that's kind of where I really saw the value in building a younger group and making kids just feel important, whether they feel that they have the skills yet, they have the ambition, and they have the want to get better, and that's where we start from. So with Pioneer, we're fortunate to be in the situation where we can offer experiences to as many kids as are willing. And I think as a age-out trumpet player with the Madison Scouts, I was afraid to audition before that, because I didn't feel like I had the skills. I didn't feel I didn't have self-worth. Things like that.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have had someone reach out to me to let me know you are worth it. You do have skills that we can build upon, and then move on when I'm ready. So that's what we can do with Pioneer. Whether all of the people that we reach on social media, whether they end up marching with Pioneer or whether we help them and inspire them to go march somewhere. I think that's the biggest thing. I want kids to not feel like they have to wait until the right time, because the right time is now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I definitely see that. I can reflect that same thought in people that are interested in auditioning on our social media accounts. You see that all the time, that they don't taking that first step of actually just going there, making that connection, and saying, I'm actually good enough to do this. And so you're just trying to bridge that gap and make it a much closer experience, much smaller bridge, so to speak, to walk over. in order to make that happen. Yeah, that's really awesome.
So, for instance, we came in with very clear goals of creating an environment of excellence through accountability. And that really starts for us in the off season, whether that's, you know, how we communicate with kids, how we set them up for success, and the opportunities that we provide them with to feel successful. So it's not just the expectation of get a certain number of kids to camp. It's how can we get them interested, how can we prepare them, and how can we ultimately see them show up at camp not scared to audition but excited to perform.
Right.
So we came in with the idea, you know, we want to change things. We want to change the culture at Pioneer. We want to change the perception. We want to make Pioneer a viable place for a brass program. You know, where kids not only come to learn basic skills, but kids who are an age out can come and still experience excellence no matter what the level of that excellence is. And that's where the accountability comes from. So we came in with the number of, let's get 50 kids to show up to our January camp. Last year they had 21 students at the January camp, and currently we're 22 days away and we're at 44 kids registered for the January camp. So we're well on track to meet that goal. And another really great thing is the staff that we put together to make these kids both feel successful and prepare them to be successful. It's been so great to work with and to see the payoff. A lot of them are former students of mine and of our team from the Troopers. Some of them we've brought in from some of the greatest drum corps in the country. What's a really, really cool thing is the students that started with the Troopers. Some stayed. Some went off to the Blue Devils and won a world championship. Some went to Carolina Crown, won a Jim Ott. So they felt successful and they felt prepared enough to go to those other experiences. So I'm really excited to see how they inspire our kids to do the same. You know, the goal at the end of the year is prepare our kids well enough in terms of their technique and their confidence to where they feel like they could go anywhere in the drum corps activity, but treat them well enough to where they want to stay and help us build this program. You know, we're in this for the long haul. We want to create an environment of positivity, inclusion, and provide opportunity for as many people as possible.
Definitely. And I know with Pioneer being one of the most traditional drum corps out there, one of the most long-standing drum bugle corps, and you're a rather young gun coming into this, and how do you think the members are embracing this new kind of new livelihood to the Pioneer Brass program?
Yeah, so from the very moment that we set expectations, they were very excited. And I think a lot of these, specifically the vets who have been around for a few years, they have craved a level of accountability that we're bringing to the table. And really the accountability starts with the communication aspect. So we communicate every single day, whether it's on Facebook. We make personal phone calls at least every 3 or 4 days, just to let them know that we're thinking about them, and ask them. A lot of times when I was a younger musician, I was afraid to reach out to my teachers because I felt they didn't want to hear from me. You know,
Right.
I was waiting for the information as opposed to seeking the information out. So we're trying to tear that wall down, you know, be as open and honest with them as possible, because if we can fix the problem now, it's going to help us down the road. So we've started a lot of things with the Facebook aspect. Luckily, technology is so wonderful in that not only can we have this conversation right now, but we're able to build the horn line throughout the winter months and build in that accountability from miles away. Right. So we've started a few things that they've really latched onto. We have a few hashtag campaigns in terms of getting our personal practice to trend on Facebook. So every time they post a video on our Facebook pages, they put hashtag play every day. And this is so that at the end of the season, no matter if we have competitive success in a certain aspect or anything, they can look back. If they type in hashtag every day on Facebook, they can see all of the work that they put in throughout the year. And that should make them feel really, really proud. And I know it's going to make us feel really, really proud.
Yeah. Definitely see that. It makes it just so much more clear because a lot of times you do all the hard work on the way to the big goal, and then once you get to that big goal, you look back and you realize, oh, that hard work was the only thing that made it valuable, and that's
absolutely
what makes it so much of a goal. So yeah, it was great talking to you. Thank you so much for the insight into Pioneer Brass program. We are very excited for 2018, and yeah, there you go. There you have it, guys. Pioneer's Brass Caption Head, Andy Grindle. Once again, thank you for joining us. Keep up with all the news that we will be uploading on Pioneer and every drum corps around the activity all winter long and summer long as we get into this season. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, guys.